I was getting Devin asked me about 30 minutes ago when we were going to do another one.
It's about time.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I become very a wuss when I get sick.
that happens, man. I'm
But
lucky. I
women
don't stay sick long, but when
women
I do
women
get
don't
sick,
understand how hard it is for us men to get sick.
I know. There's no way having a baby is near as hard as a head cold for a man.
I have to agree. I have to agree. All right. So you got I see you got your green beautiful stone Chosera, the
Yep.
Cho 1K. That's like the I would say that's like the bevel setter with most pedigree. You know, everybody loves the 1K.
I think it's the OG of the bevel setting world. It's maybe not be the oldest, but it kind of the one that took over the prison yard when it arrived. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
they may have
yeah,
older, they may have younger, but they all check with him before they do anything.
yeah. I think so. I have here the
Hey, Nicholas from Italy.
from Italy. Dude, I would
Yep.
love to go to Italy.
Me
I have
too.
here the 3K, the Rockstar 3K.
Uh-huh.
And I have that out because I just got this on the mail. I know you love these razors.
You sure you don't
Uh,
want to start with a diamond plate?
well, I did some work before we got on camera, just to like fix it up a bit. But they do need some work. They do need some work.
So, what I'm working on, I got a Klaus that actually was one of my razors, one of the first restores. Well, not first, but it was a group that I restored maybe last hunting season, and
Yeah.
Zach bought it from me, and he dropped it, and he wants an arc edge. So I couldn't see really no chips on the edge, but it wasn't ready to shave. So I just figured I don't do this often, but because I don't know what the razor been through, and I'm too lazy to put it on a scope, I'm just going to start on 1K mildly and get a good shaving edge, make sure I'm clean, and then go to a conical.
Now, how does a one an arc edge with a chip feel when you shave? Is it pretty comfortable?
No.
Oh,
Well, he had a green shadow edge on this one, which
that one had a green shadow.
yeah, and he just said he dropped it, and I'm gonna start from scratch.
There's times where, like you say, you have to like start from scratch, and if you don't trust the bevel, I feel like you could start from scratch. But for example, if I have a razor that I set a bevel on and I've been shaving with it, and it just needs a little touch up, I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice if you go back to the 1K because you're basically putting scratches that are really coarse when it really doesn't need that.
Mhm.
So you're playing like a cat and mouse. Is that what you call it? Is that how they
Yeah,
say it?
I think that anytime you go to a finisher too much, you can burn and fatigue the edge. So every now and then you got to start fresh, whether it's 3K, 4K, 1K. It's just going to be the coarser abrasive, the faster you can get it done, but the more work you leave yourself.
Do you think the same way I do, which is the least abrasive stone that gets you where you need to? That way, like the longevity of the razor lasts a bit longer.
I do, but I also think somebody that hasn't been holding long,
Yeah.
because like the title of our video, they're not going to do enough work on those stones, so they just soon start back at the bevel setter and make sure they got it right, you know. But with me, I very seldom ever go back to my bevel setter unless I need it. That's what they. I mean, that's what the tools are there for.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, Dolomite?
We got brother B. He just says he doesn't care. All right. And we got Dolomite. What's up, brother? Good to see you back. Thank you, brother. Like I was telling Eric, it's very hard as a man to get sick. There's no way women feel the same sickness as men. Um, I remember when I started, Eric. Um, every time I would hone a razor, I would go back to the 1K.
I remember that conversation we had, and I asked you why, and you didn't even know why you were doing it, just because that's what everybody said to do.
Yeah, yeah. well, you go online, everybody just says, "Oh, you gotta set the bevel, you gotta set the bevel," and when you think about setting a bevel, you think of a 1K. So, but I think now that I have a little bit more experience, for me, bevel setting is a range. It's not just the 1K. It's
Wherever you bring up new steel.
exactly, exactly. So you got undercut there.
Yeah, I got undercut, but it's on this 1K, so I'm getting ready to go to Peanut see if I'm good. I don't feel like cutting up my pretty little fingernails.
So here I didn't show it on camera, but this was going really nice through the packing peanut
Uh huh.
uh, tomato test, and it was also it was like an HHT.
Uh huh.
I can't say which one it is. I don't think it wasn't 4, it wasn't 5. It was some of the ones below that.
Hey,
It
what's
would
up,
like
Mike?
cap and then it would drop.
Hey, so look, this is killed stone, killed the edge from 1K.
Well, that looks nice
Yep.
from heel to toe. Actually, usually you know how the heel, most guys
See
don't give
that?
much love to the heel, but you nailed it.
I'm a only place right here on this turned up toe. It was different than the rest. Still fell in, but I'm gonna just give it a little bit of light touch here, and then I'm gonna go because I'm going to conical next. So it's not like I'm gonna completely take it easy on it.
So what's the progression you have planned for that?
So my favorite arc progression, which is conical, uh, Thuringian, and then gold dollars. Yep, Thuringian, and then two arc. I'm gonna use this. This stone. You recognize it? My LGB. Love this stone. It's a dog, and I'm gonna use. I didn't bring my LGB slurry stones is about this bigger, so I'm gonna use. Oh shit! Another coarse conical, which is your less lat, which is one of your more coarser conicals. So I'm gonna use that to slurry.
Yeah. So
See how
Rick's gonna
soft.
love
See
this.
how soft that less lat is. How fast it slurries.
Yeah.
Does yours do the same thing?
Mine slurries up real quick on the yellow side.
Yeah.
Um, I would say the yellow side isn't the finest out of all the cauticals I've used. I would say, um, I mean, it depends for the stone, but you know how veins usually have like some characteristics that, for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, seem to be uh, common across the board. But for me, the finest have been the Ledger Santes. Um,
LGB, El Desante, and La Vianette to me are all
LV.
the, the
Yeah.
most drop.
Now I will say the hybrid side of the less lat I feel gives one of the keenest edges, but at that point I don't know if that classifies as a
Oh, it's a conical. I think it really feels close to one of those like a conical to arc edge, but no, it's definitely a conical. It's just made from chlorite versus
yeah,
or quartz versus garnets. So here
yeah.
I'm probably bringing this razor back, Sean, with this muddy of a slurry. But you have talked about that in your content a lot about giving it that conical serration. If and you don't really feel like a conical if you don't
If you
start
don't
early.
make the proper work at the early stages, yeah.
I just wanted to go to that show Sarah to make sure there wasn't you know any fatigue in the steel, and I had it all cleaned up. Hey Rick, what's up, man? How you feeling today, Rick?
Man, did you see that? His hand, Rick's hand
Yeah.
was crazy swollen, man. No Cajun cutter today, Dolomite. Gold dollar. So Rick is gonna be happy because I know Rick Whitson uh really does like his his gold dollars. I have nothing against them. Um, but I have so many razors that I enjoy in my lineup that I'd rather those than this, but they do get the job done. They're just
Uh,
like they're just very maintenance. Don't you feel like they're very maintenance?
yeah, I find it just I can't trust them. That's my thing, So
Yeah, you can't trust
it
them, and they're high maintenance.
my whole thing is testing stones and playing with stones. And if I have to worry about a variable, I'm not going to do it. And I have to very much have to worry about a variable with a gold dollar. I'm not saying they're not a good razor to shave with. There's a place for them. I'm happy other people use them. I'm just not going to use them.
Yeah, yeah. We share the same mindset. Rick says his hand is still swollen, but it's going down, but very slowly. Well,
I'm
we're
wondering if it's
wishing him the
really a
best then.
spider bite or it's a self love. Uh, Making he was making love to himself and had a serious accident. I told him when I seen the picture, he better learn how to sweet talk his left hand. Okay, I'm lightening up the pressure right here. This stone's so freaking fast, dude.
What's the title of the live stream, Eric?
Uh, did you finish too early? Honing dysfunction.
Owning this solution. I just kind of hopped in here. I didn't even read the title. I didn't remember what we were going to talk about.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah,
basically, it's putting the work early in. A lot of what we see and people we've helped over the years, it's race to get to the finisher and then do 200 laps on the finisher. Unless it's an arc or a dead rock that doesn't have much abrasive, you're going to fatigue that steel. Uh, Even in what you were talking about earlier in a refresh situation, if I refresh on 8K and then back to my JNAT, it may only be 20 strokes on 8K, just enough where I get undercut again and I got good HHT. It usually don't
yeah,
take much.
yeah.
Get that
Well,
that edge too thin. It's
the 8K is a very unique stone for me, at least when I've had it in my progression, because it's very much a transitional stone that doesn't get. It's not a stone I'm like 10, 15 minutes on. It's I do my 20 laps and then I'm jumping to my finisher.
yeah, me too. Sean's on the Rockstar 1K. That is correct. Go to my
No, 3K, 3K.
3K. Okay.
Yeah. So gold dollars, like I said, are very high maintenance. I just got this one on the mail today, when I got back from work. So I checked the bevel angle. It's around 18 degrees bevel angle. It has a wobble. That's fine. I know how to roll my strokes, which is something I think everybody should learn to do if you're planning on doing this long term. But I did not want to do any correction work or having to set the bevel. I wanted the bevel to be, at least on the 1K stone, set before I started the live stream. And now I'm just slowly doing my X strokes because uh, getting a razor shave ready for me is just two things: go from dull to setting a bevel, and then refining that bevel. And this, I think, is important to the subject that we're going to talk about, which is finishing too early, rushing to those uh, high grit stones. That first stage of setting the bevel for me, you know, I can shave off my 1K. Do I want to shave off my 1K for the rest of my life? No. If I'm in a deserted island, I can do it. I really don't want to, but your edge, your initial edge, should be set up, in my opinion, and I think in your opinion as well, Eric,
Uh-huh.
uh, on core stones. It just sets you up for success.
Well, if you can't shave, if you're 1K eating cutting hair easily, Then going to the 5K ain't gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. If you can't, if it, remember when I first talking to you and Rob early in your process, more you, and I told you that I try to get HHT 3 to 4 off my bevel set, and you couldn't believe that. And now
Yeah.
that's pretty much your standard as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. Now I'm not saying off of 1K, but I'm saying when I leave my sharpening phase, which would be 3 to 4K, that's not it's going to be banging.
Yeah. It's interesting. Everybody who has followed that advice of make sure it's shaving well in the early stages has gotten great success. Robert, for those who are here, the Razor's Edge, um, he did the same thing, started getting those edges dialed in early on, and he's having great success. Um, Zach, um, High Rock Mountain, I think is his username on YouTube as well, has gotten great success. And I don't know who this is, Eric, but Friendship Shaving.
Yep.
He saw my 1K shaving video the other day, and he made a video using a camisori, and he mentions me in it because he said, I saw Sean's video where he was shaving off his 1K, and that camisori that he had, he was having trouble with it, so he stayed on the 1K until he was able to shave with it. And he said, I was surprised that I was able to get that camisori to shave. So I don't know. It makes me happy that you taught me that, and it's something that we're promoting, and people are getting great success off of it. Um, it's
Well, I
like you
mean,
said, why is going to a 5K going to help you if you still haven't done the proper work that needs to be done on a coarser stone, right? Which is getting those apex cysts to meet.
and not as to confuse this, I have a shaving razor. It's shaving great. Well, I just want to change edges. I need to go to 1K. That's not what I'm saying. Because at that
Exactly.
point,
Yeah.
the razor is finished. It's good. You can just go to 8K to swap them over. But if you haven't got to a finished shaving level, you need to make sure you're there before you cross 5, or 6, whatever your stone is, that starts your polishing.
All right. Let me know what's happening on your screen. What's happening? I don't see much slurry there.
No, this stone's fast, and I just moved to water, right? I'm holding until I can quit seeing it bring up swarf on water. You
Yeah.
know, I've done I got off of slurry, then I was still getting the swarf on water, so I went back to slurry while you was honing and talking, and then I did another round. Not really dollar cot because this stone's so fast. I do dollar cot, but it almost don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm talking about. So I made probably 4 dilutions again, and then now I'm on water, and now it looks like just water. I'm not kicking up any kind of swarth,
Yeah, I was
which tip.
talking there for a long time, wasn't I? Let me see the chat. Love the Shapton Rockstar series. They are definitely uh, some amazing stones there, Rick. What is this barber show? Good to have you here, Joden. This is the traditional way of shaving. These are straight razors, similar to the ones that barbers use, except that these are not replaceable blades. These you have to sharpen yourself. I'm using a synthetic stone, which is man-made. And Eric, my friend to the left with a yellow stone, he's using a natural stone called the conical. Is it done yet? Well, not yet. Why he's stuttering? Well, I'm Puerto Rican, so.
That's not stuttering. It's called translation.
Yeah.
My grandpa, he used to stutter and get aggravated, and I said, "What's wrong, Paul?" He said, "You got to understand how much of a pain in the ass this is, because I think in French, and you want me to talk in English, so 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 I get it.
I feel like sometimes I don't even have, like, I set the bevel, and I feel like I can almost go on water and just hone the razor that way, how fast it is. But I do like adding a little bit of slurry.
This is my Gross Blanc, I was just using a less light slurry stone to speed the process up. Then the
Yeah,
second round, I used this LV slurry stone just to have a little bit of a little bit finer, you know.
yeah. You have an LPB that you can do that, right? You can just go on water and
So
it'll
if
get you there. I can hear you. Yeah. I don't- Let me see. That's a huge slurry stone. What does it say there? Thuringian? It's like that those sellers extra fine conical. I have a 30K conical that I'm gonna sell.
all you gotta do is get on the side.
Exactly. All other cuticles don't work except mine, right? I have all the good
Mhm.
ones. Now that looks very very slick. That mud that you have
With
there.
the it's a 30, so it's got that slimy. I love the feedback of it, me.
Yeah.
So
And you're using that like a transition stone, right? You did your
yeah,
conical work. Um, you could shave off your conical, I'm sure,
yep. Or I could shave off this 30,
or you could shave
but
off that 30, but you're transitioning to that black arc.
mm-hmm.
So that stone it works like a jumping stone, like a trampoline.
Yeah,
It just makes your work the black arc a little bit faster, right? And
yeah, and it's a little bit cleaner of a apex than a cockle, you know.
yeah,
Because you know
that's-
part of the length and honing the black arc is whatever you go there with. If you have any flaws at all, it's gonna multiply it bad. So I'm just trying to clean it up a little bit. Not that arc to Cotty to black arc getting a great combination, but I've found since I learned this method that I'm more consistent going to my and less likely having to rehome.
well, I remember when Rick uh, told you to try it out, and you told me that, man, that was a really good edge. Rick Widner.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say the Puma I got from you, man, that one in the Bismarck, that vintage Bismarck. Oof, man, we got we scored on those.
That Puma is just such a console razor with such good flexibility on the face. It's and I don't know, it's good steel. You know, I love it. Now this stone right here, I'm not making claims because it is not something anybody else can find. It's called Oh shit! I grabbed the wrong one. I ain't putting that on that. I thought that was my wrong stone. So I'm gonna stay with some work on this Thuringian. Thought that was that Welch slate that I just got from Ollie, but grabbed the wrong
Yeah,
one. It's damn near as fine as my Olympus. It's a good stone.
the Welsh slate.
This newer one, I have a couple of them, but this newer one, yeah,
That Olympus stone is really good, man. It has a lot
I,
of range. It has the edge to me feels almost like a surgical black edge, man.
yeah, it's sharp.
It's sharp. You can feel how acute that is.
Dolomite. I led with the Puma and Puma or a 14, and Sean agreed. My weather is getting real bad right here, and I'm the one posting this, so it may be in and out, skippy on the internet.
Can you guys see me well in the stream? Because I heard Dolomite said he can hear me well.
So Sean, the guy on the right, is using a Rockstar 3K, or was using a Rockstar 3K. I'm
I'm still
using
on the 3K.
a German Thuringian.
By this point, I think I've stayed on the 3K just because I'm like relaxing. I'm talking with you. I'm having a
Mm-hmm.
good time, right? I'm not in a rush to get the edge. I'm sending this uh, gold dollar to our friend Josh with a JNet edge. I'm just doing the
Mm-hmm.
foundation work, but I'm not in a rush. But do you think you can ruin an edge by staying too long at a 3K or a 6K?
Uh, I don't think so, because you don't have the ability to defend too much right now, right there. As you thin, I think you're breaking off.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You can hear the weather on my end.
I could hear the thunder, man.
Oh shit! Just hit.
Man, that's almost mirror. What the heck?
I'm telling you, them rock stars. If you go with light pressure, dude, you can exceed what the rating is. Yeah, I agree with you, Dolomite. I enjoy how silky they are. Water and air is the same way. Tamashanner.
Oh man, the water. I think the water of air takes that silkiness to another level.
It does.
I like it even more than I'd like the three. The water of air is one of the most enjoyable stones I played with.
While we're talking about it, why don't I make some laps on there? You still in the 3K? Can't do. We're not doing nothing but refining it. Devin had asked me what color was my 30, because he was looking at my water bear. Mine is a gray blue with the black ink spots, which is, I guess, if you had to say there was a traditional look to them, that's what I've seen.
I'm moving to the 6K. You know why? I'm finally seeing the tape um start to
Deteriorate.
deteriorate, and I can see a little bit of the tape on the stone. I only see one, but I guess that's good enough for me to move on now. Okay. Man, that's a huge water of air. That's what she said.
How
That's
you
like
doing, Layla?
that's like 4 inches wide, right?
4 by right at 11.
They probably sell that in Texas because everything is bigger in Texas, right?
This should come from the UK.
So both you and me have had the experience of guys wanting to do a lot of laps on the finishing stones
Hmm.
and not having success with that. What would be your tip to them? What would you say?
Less is more. I mean, so it's confusing if you haven't been honing. We're specifically talking about synthetics. If it's synthetics, I would say I'm not talking about average. I'm talking about max. 40 on a 8K, 20 on a 10K, 20 on a 12K, 6 to 8 on a 16 or a 30K, and that's just kind of not to overdo it. Can it be pushed past that? Yeah. Can it be less than that? Yeah. But
Yeah.
somebody that's new and don't want to overdo it. So on a JNAT, you have to know enough about honing to know when you're at your finishing stage. Mine would be on water or on misty slurry, and I'm probably around 20 strokes there, or whenever I can feel the refinement start to stick. On on these stones here, when I get to water, I'm not doing 100. I'm trying to read pressure. When I feel it start diving into the stone, I know things it's got thin and nothing good's gonna happen if I push it past that. So I'll go ahead and go to some soap and we know once you're on soap, you're not really doing anything but just polishing, at the end.
Yeah.
Synthetics is just a different animal. They're so aggressive, and that's where you see new guys overdo it so much.
Aggressive and consistent. You
Yeah.
know. I said I wasn't going to use the ONR just for fun. I'm going to put a little bit there. Okay, so I'm finally at the 6K.
Ah, it looks like a floor tile. He had to cut it out of a block he got from the mine. So and water bear usually sometimes can have when I say toxic, they can have lines that cracks and you lose what you got. So he had to make sure a piece big enough with no cracks in it before he cut it that he thought would stay together. All right, this thing is starting to wanting to bite into the stone or dive into the stone.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready to go to. I'm gonna go to that arc. So here's my arc. So today, Sean, I went ahead and resurfaced it. So what I do when I resurface, I take a coarse paper, like one below or half as much as what I'm a surface to. So I went to 220 and I surfaced with that. So when I finished at 220, I could obviously see scratches in it. So at
Yeah.
that point, I went up to 400 and I did a bunch of work on 400 and I could still see scratches. So I took some 500 stick powder, put it underneath my 400 wet dry, which was wrapped around a plate, and I worked on it for about 20 minutes. And this is what I got. So now I have a beautiful haze of 400 to 500 grit on this stone. I took all the major polish off, and there's no lines or anything. So anytime you decide to resurface your arc, you're in there for an hour, right? That's just what it takes. It's something that I don't want to have to do often. That's why I told you when I honed on it the last time, I realized it wasn't doing that. It needed to be resurfaced, and I've been dragging my ass doing so.
You there? Eric, my man, you there?
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yeah. You kind of went. I don't know if you muted yourself or what.
Is my camera out?
Your camera's out. Yeah. Well, guys, while Eric fixes that, I'll take uh I'll take the reins. So I
Is
have
my
them
camera
built up.
back?
Nope, not yet. Man, I can hear it's pouring back there. Camera's still out, by the way.
Can you see me now?
Nope. Not yet. Did you touch the camera icon?
It's supposed to be on right now. I see you on and off on the camera icon.
Yeah, you saw that, right? There's
Yeah.
a button there that can turn it off and turn it on.
Okay.
Maybe you click that.
I just turned mine off. What's up? What's on the screen that you see right now?
Just darkness.
Not my logo.
Not your logo, nope. You try switching to your other camera. So instead of the front
Yeah, I
one, the
did.
back one.
Okay. I'm looking dead at you right now, and it's showing on my camera. I'm not sure why it's not showing on yours.
Yeah. Both over here and over there it's pouring, man. If anything, I'll take over, started showing everybody how the Rockstrive 6K works.